The world has never been louder. Notifications, pings, endless feeds, they fill the day from the moment the phone lights up in the morning. What used to be moments of quiet are now filled with noise. People no longer sit in silence, they scroll. And in this shift, something sacred is being lost. The soul, which once thrived in silence, now struggles to breathe in the chaos of constant stimulation. Spiritual stillness isn't just about quiet surroundings, it's about the state of the heart when distractions fade away. It's a space where the soul can reflect, heal, and reconnect with what matters. Throughout history, prophets, sages, and scholars all sought this stillness. They stepped away from the world to find clarity. But today, that clarity is buried under layers of content. Even when a person is physically alone, the digital world follows, filling every gap. Studies show that attention spans are shrinking. People check their phones hundreds of times a day. Even a few minutes of stillness feels uncomfortable. This isn't just a mental health concern, it's a spiritual one. The constant movement of the mind prevents deep reflection, and without reflection, the heart can't soften. It can't hear. It becomes numb. Stillness, once a natural state, must now be fought for. What's being eroded isn't just peace, it's the soul's ability to connect with the divine. In quiet, the heart remembers. In stillness, the eyes open inward. Yet with every scroll, that moment slips further away. Social media isn't evil, but unchecked, it becomes a silent thief. It steals the quiet needed to nourish the soul, and over time people forget what true silence even feels like. There was a time when silence wasn't something people avoided, it was something they needed. They sat under trees, walked alone, looked at the sky without feeling the urge to share it. In those moments the heart opened, the mind slowed down, the spirit found rest. Now silence feels foreign. It makes people uneasy. They reach for their phones without thinking. A scroll here, a tap there, and suddenly an hour has passed without a single moment of stillness. This shift isn't just cultural, it's spiritual. When people lose stillness, they lose self-awareness. They lose the inner dialogue that leads to truth. Without it, emotions build up, resentments grow, wounds stay open. Reflection is the mirror the soul needs to heal, but that mirror has become fogged by distractions. It's hard to hear the whisper of the soul when the noise is always turned up. Even acts of worship are affected. Minds wander during prayer. Thoughts race in moments meant for peace. Attention is scattered. Social media has conditioned people to consume fast and forget quickly. Everything feels urgent, even when it's not. The spiritual path, on the other hand, is slow. It asks for presence. It requires quiet. When attention is always pulled in 10 directions, the heart can't stay grounded. It floats from one thought to the next, never settling. This isn't just about personal well-being. It's about the condition of the soul. When stillness is missing, so is sincerity, so is gratitude. These qualities grow in silence. They need time to take root. Just like seeds don't grow overnight, the soul doesn't blossom in chaos. Constant engagement keeps the surface busy, but leaves the inner world dry. It's like watering the leaves while the roots starve. On the outside everything looks active, but inside there's drought. One of the dangers is how unnoticed this shift has become. People think they're fine, they're used to the speed. They don't realize they're burning out, until they stop and feel empty. Then comes the restlessness, the need to check again, to scroll again. It's not about boredom anymore, it's about discomfort with being still. The habit becomes a shield, a way to avoid hard truths. Silence can be uncomfortable, but that's where growth happens. Every spiritual tradition has emphasized the value of stillness, whether it was retreating into caves, withdrawing into the desert, or meditating in seclusion. Quiet was sacred. It wasn't a luxury, it was a necessity. It was where the heart reset, where the soul reconnected with its purpose. Today people don't need caves. They need courage. The courage to step away, to be alone, not to isolate but to reconnect with what's real. Stillness doesn't have to mean silence all day. It can be moments, a few breaths without a screen, a pause before opening an app, a walk without music, eyes closed in prayer without the urge to check the time. These small acts bring awareness back. They create space for the heart to breathe. They may seem small, but they matter. Each one builds strength, builds clarity, builds a deeper connection with the self and with the Creator. Modern life rewards speed. Social media rewards noise. The loudest voices get the most attention. The fastest content gets the most views. But spirituality doesn't work that way. It's quiet. It's gentle. It asks people to slow down when the world says rush, to go inward when the world pulls outward. There's a conflict there, and it's one that requires intention to navigate. Otherwise, people end up living someone else's story, never pausing to ask what their own soul truly needs. There's a reason people feel tired, even when they're doing nothing. Their minds are overstimulated, their hearts are overstretched. Constant scrolling might feel like rest, but it isn't. True rest nourishes. It leaves a person fuller, not emptier. Social media can offer connection but not depth. It can provide entertainment, but not healing. The soul needs more. It was created for more, and it can only find that more in moments of stillness. Stillness is where people rediscover meaning. It's where answers come, not always through words, but through presence, through being. In a world that tells people to always be doing, just being feels revolutionary. Yet that's where transformation happens, not in constant action, but in quiet surrender. That's where the soul hears its own voice, the voice that's been drowned out by posts, videos, and noise, a voice that leads to something real. The silent epidemic is real. It's not loud. It doesn't scream. It creeps in quietly, replacing peace with pressure, reflection with reaction. Many don't notice until they feel lost, until the emptiness becomes too loud to ignore. That's the wake-up call, not to demonize social media, but to realign, to take back what matters, to protect what's sacred, and to choose stillness again. Stillness is a form of worship. It's not wasted time. It's not laziness. It's a return to self, a return to presence, a return to God. And that return doesn't require mountains or deserts. It starts in the heart. It starts in the moment. It starts when a person says, "Enough noise. I want peace." That small choice is powerful. It's the beginning of everything. Even 5 minutes of silence a day can shift everything. 5 minutes without checking, without scrolling, without performing, just breathing, just being. It's simple, but not easy. It takes intention. It takes effort, but the reward is clarity. The reward is calm. And most importantly, the reward is connection with the self and with the divine. That's worth more than any number of likes or views. People weren't created for constant noise. The soul wasn't made to be overstimulated. It was made to reflect, to grow, to remember, to love deeply. That kind of life isn't found in fast content. It's found in deep moments, in slow breaths, in sacred pauses. Stillness is not a weakness. It's strength. A strength many have forgotten, but it's never too late to return. Silence is not empty. It's full of wisdom, full of healing, full of clarity. It holds what the soul is searching for. The silent epidemic doesn't win by being loud. It wins by being normal. It wins when people stop noticing what they've lost. Reclaiming stillness is an act of resistance. It's a return to depth in a world obsessed with the surface. It's a path back to peace, purpose, and presence. The soul is always waiting. Sometimes all it needs is quiet.